Robby Robinson was born in 1946 in Damascus, Georgia, and came of age during one of the most turbulent chapters of American history. The world he entered was defined by segregation, separate schools, separate neighborhoods, separate expectations.
He had taken my head off and put his head on my body and made it the monument for the whole country all over the world.
For a young black boy in the Deep South, opportunity was not something given. It had to be fought for.
Robbie has to go first through you and Ken Waller to get to me.
Oh yeah,
I mean, how can you make the fifth step of the ladder?
This is the story and life of Robby Robinson, the Black Prince of bodybuilding. Robby Robinson's story began as a kid growing up in the Tallahassee region of Florida. Robby Robinson faced extreme poverty and hardship growing up, living in a house with no electricity and facing constant river flooding.
I grew up in Tallahassee, Florida, along with, I guess at that point, Seminole Indians. I grew up in the swamps of Tallahassee, Florida. But to me, it's a world of adventure. You know, I didn't even think about growing up in the swamps. I grew up in the swamps. I went to school. I came back home. I lived a life. I spent probably 95% of myself alone in the woods, in the swamps with animals.
Robbie lived in a community which was insulated, and they rarely associated with outsiders. During high school, Robby Robinson's family life started to break down, with his mum eventually being sent to jail. Despite massive hardships at home, Robbie began to excel at athletics. He became the high school football legend, as well as a basketball and track star.
Growing up in my culture, you know, you have to be like, if you're going to do something, you have to be the very best at it. If not, don't do it. That's just how we grew up to be. That's how we're taught. If you can't put your heart and soul into something, there's no sense in doing it. So everything I've tried to do in my lifetime since I was a kid was I wanted to be the very best at it. I didn't care what it was, if it's playing hopscotch, if it's wrestling, if it's jumping rope, I wanted to do the best at it.
Robbie and his friends decided they needed to build up their physiques, but they didn't have money for a proper gym membership. Amazingly, they managed to build their own weight pen. They used old metal train wheels for plates and broken telephone poles for the barbells. Robbie trained every body part daily, 6 days a week.
Every single day. As I said to you, I loved it because I saw results.
Robbie then started to compete in many local Florida bodybuilding competitions, whilst often facing heated racial outbursts from audience members.
I showed it. When I walked into a competition room, everybody go, oh man, geez, I might as well go home.
With 25 to 30 contests under his belt, he started to establish his name, eventually culminating in winning the 1974 Mr. Southeastern United States. And in 1975, he finally hit the jackpot, an invitation from Joe Weider to come train in California with the world's best bodybuilders.
If you love old school bodybuilding, please check out the newly released ebook, An Encyclopedia on the Golden Age of Bodybuilding. It comes packed with information from how the West Coast scene of bodybuilding got started, biographies of many famous Golden Era bodybuilders, how Golden Era bodybuilders ate and trained, and how the Golden Age of bodybuilding still inspires millions of bodybuilders today. Please scan the QR code on the screen, or click the link in the description to purchase a copy today. You can also find a 10% discount off code within the description. Thank you, and we hope you are enjoying the video. So now, let's get back to the documentary.
Robbie arrived in California in 1975, the year Pumping Iron was filmed. He first settled in Pasadena before moving to Venice Beach to train with the world's top bodybuilders at Gold's Gym. When Robbie walked into Gold's Gym Venice, he was amazed to see all his idols that he had seen in the magazines. He squatted down by the door barefoot, just like his days back in Florida, and watched them train. He was in total awe. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ken Waller, Frank Zane, Franco Columbu, Eddie Giuliani, Denny Gable were all there training.
I was a little bit in awe,
Yeah.
you know, seeing all the guys out there that I've seen in the magazines. And I thought like, wow, there's Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ed Corning, Franco Columbu, Kenny Waller, Denny Gable. And I'm looking at all these guys and I'm not feeling intimidated, but excited. You know, I wanted to get in there and rumble right along with them. It took a while, and Denny Gable came out to me and said, come in the gym. And I came in the gym, and we was all like, I'm just in awe. And they immediately asked me to train with them. You train with Arnold Schwarzenegger out of the blue. I was like, hey, awesome. And you need things like that. You need that inspiration from other people to really tap into your own ability to achieve the same thing they achieve. You talk about Arnold, Mr. Olympia. Danny Gable had won certain competition. Ed Corning was probably one of the best posers and best guys in the gym. And then you got Franco Columbu, Kenny Waller, actually brutes. So I was able to come in that time and be a part of something that was like a dream, really. Not coming straight from Florida and coming out there and realizing that now I'm training with people that are absolute winners. They're on magazine covers. And so it inspired me and motivated me.
Although he continued to be in awe of the talent around him, he himself had come to Gold's Gym physically prepared. He was 29 years old, had 21 years of athletic conditioning, with 18 of those years lifting weights. His experience backed his attitude to enter the highest level of the sport. At 205 pounds, he had 20-inch arms and a 28-inch waist. Training with Arnold and Danny Gable was a godsend, but it was not long before Robbie made a shocking discovery. After visiting a doctor for blood work, he was diagnosed with sickle cell anemia, which could potentially end his bodybuilding career before it even got properly started.
So by the time I got home, I collapsed in her arms. I fell to the floor, and she was rubbing me and caressing me and trying to make sure that I was okay. I didn't know what was happening, but I was having an aspirin refractory shot because I have sickle cell. When I went to the doctor, all the blood cells, they break in half. That's what sickle cell is. Blood cells break in half, and they cling to each other. And so when they're going through the bloodstream, they can't move. They get congested into the blood vessel, which can actually cause the blood vessel to explode.
Despite his diagnosis, Robbie's strong mind allowed him to push through, and with laser focus, he now started to prepare for the Mr. America and Mr. World competitions 1975. With Robbie's new training partners, Arnold and Denny Gable, the pace and intensity of the training he was doing dramatically increased. Each of them had a show in 90 days. Arnold was preparing for his 6th Olympia, whilst Denny and Robbie had their sights on the IFBB Mr. World.
The whole time we were training for that 90 days, Arnold was training for the Mr. Olympia, the 6th Mr. Olympia. I was training for the Mr. World in New York. And in that process, I was handling the same weight. What really hit me hard, I was handling the same weight they were handling without steroids. And it amazed me. I was thinking like, wow, I knew they were doing something, but nobody would tell me. Nobody told me anything about steroids. I didn't even know. You know, it might sound sad and I might sound a little bit dumb, but I had no clue. That's where I learned that mind. You can do anything you want if you make up your mind. If you're in the right field of energy with the right group of people, they were the right group of people.
After 90 days of hard training and posing, Robbie was now ready to enter the Mr. America 1975 competition. For Mr. America, the competition was tough. He was up against bodybuilders such as Roger Khaled and the emerging Mike Mensa. Robbie managed to place first in the median class and was crowned the overall champion. The Mr. World competition was up next in Los Angeles. Robbie was again miles ahead of any other competitors, and he won the middle class crown, the overall first place award, and the most muscular man award. It was after the Mr. World show that Joe Weider came up to him and gave him the nickname, the Black Prince.
You know, what can you say? I can't even see the guy, he's too little. I hear this voice, but I don't see nothing.
Hey, all right.
Hey, and look at that, another mouse in the background.
Hey, what is that?
I got $100 on Paul Grant. Wait until South Africa and Pretoria, and we'll all know who's the best. It'll be me.
But wouldn't you say that Robbie has to go first through you and Ken Waller to get to me?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, how can you make the fifth step of the ladder when you didn't make the first?
They gotta be me and then
I think that Robbie's gonna be the great black hope.
Pumping Iron started filming in 1975 and was intended to propel bodybuilding into the mainstream. There was originally a lot of excitement amongst the West Coast bodybuilding scene. Robbie and other actors who were going to appear in the film were hoping to get paid for their parts in the movie. That original excitement soon faded into anger when cast members apart from Arnold learned that they were not going to be earning anything for their roles in the movie.
When it came to the beat that there was going to be a movie on bodybuilding like Pumping Iron, we were all ecstatic. They wanted to film the Pumping Iron, but they didn't want to pay anybody. They just wanted us to participate and play our roles. When they said it wasn't going to give us any money, I mean, the bad boy came out of me. I got up and walked out. Yeah, it was all just a fraud.
Wow.
The whole thing of it. It was sad because everybody was so excited. All the guys, the little players that was a part of it, that were backing him up, also excited because we'll finally be able to have a piece of money. It was a very painful thing for me, and to see it happen like that to the people that were supporting the whole movie, I still sometimes feel just sad about it.
I think this whole thing is fucked.
I think so.
Towards the end of the 1970s, Robbie began to get more and more frustrated at what he thought was unfair judging and politics within the sport. Things started to come to a head after Joe Weider stole Robbie Robinson's body to make the logo for the Weider Company worldwide.
What Joe Weider did, he called me up and said, well, Robbie, I want to make you the model of my company. And I thought, wealthy, $400 million man going to let a black man be the monument for his company. You got to be some behind it. My lady friend Elaine was very pissed off because she thought, they're just using you. That's what she said to the, big gathering. There was a big party, and we were sitting in the audience, myself and Elaine, and they rolled the big bus out on the stage, all the lights and everything. The news media was there, and I'm sitting there waiting for the unveiling. Had a blue sheet over the whole thing, and I'm thinking, wow, isn't this incredible to myself? And then Joe Weider come on and said, this is the monument and blueprint of my company. Snatched the thing off. What happened to my head?
Due to his outspoken views, the Weider brothers banned Robbie in 1981 from competing, and he was forced to move to Europe.
Once I realized that I was being thrown and kicked out of bodybuilding, my mindset flipped over to a whole nother mindset that I didn't like. And then that mindset, I probably wouldn't be here. I'd probably be in prison someplace. Hear voices. Well, I can say I heard a voice. And that voice said to me, go to Europe.
Robbie paid $750 and booked a one-way flight to Amsterdam. Robbie had settled and lived in Europe for over 10 years, touring and doing posing exhibitions. Robbie was finally invited back to America to compete in the first ever Masters Olympia, which was held in 1994. He would be up against an extremely strong lineup, which included his pumping iron co-star, Lou Ferrigno.
So he came to me and said, Robbie, you need to contact Wayne DeMillia. They're having a Masters Mr. Olympia. And I said, okay. So I contacted Wayne, started training that day. I started training immediately that day, preparing myself for the competition. What my thought of it was, they need to sell tickets. Place was sold out. Everybody was hoping that Lou would win it, because that way Lou had a contract to do a movie. And in that process of getting ready to do that movie, he needed to win. Joe, the people that had put Lou already on all the covers pretty much for the IFBB Flex magazine all over the world. You're talking 101 countries had him.
The judging was extremely close, with both Robbie and Lou tied on 300 points. Wayne DeMillia gave Robbie the extra point to give Robbie a final 301 points. Robbie edged the Masters Olympia by 1 point and won a check for $25,000. Robbie continues to work out at the new Gold's Gym in Venice, even as he approaches 80 years old. He is one of the only golden bodybuilders left who trains at Gold's Gym regularly, along with Arnold. Robbie often collabs and posts daily workout videos with Mike O'Han. He takes pride in his longevity in the sport and has outlived most golden era bodybuilders due to his very strict nutrition and responsible drug use.
One of my favorite foods. If you're looking for good body fat building, muscle tissue building, losing weight, nothing's like salmon. Combination of all these different vegetables, carrots, chicken leg meat, one of my favorite. If you take it off the bone, saute it with onions and garlic, best taste, and add a little cashew butter to it, makes it crunchy. If you take meat like this and cook it too fast, it just gets hard. You have to catch it.
He's absolutely
But then if you do it nice and slow, then the texture of the meat, the tenderness of the meat is going to stay there. I like things to be nice and tender, very tasty. It takes a bit for the seasoning stuff to go through the food. So you don't want every bite to be tasteful.
Although he may have not been the biggest bodybuilder of his time, Robbie's approach to prioritizing aesthetics and good health over plain mass has let him build one of the most loved physiques of all time. Robby Robinson continues to be a golden era bodybuilding legend and will forever be known as the Black Prince of bodybuilding.